A very good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And it's very, very interesting to take a look on what's happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. And I'm taking a look on what Majara Jairos has said right here. He says, a prophecy from Sowe Rimapostore Kuchitungwiza says President Chiwenga was brought back from the dead by the will of God so that him and Nelson Chamisa could save Zimbabweans from the bondage being subjected to them by E.D. Mnangagwa. It says E.D. derives his power from Satan. So this is what Majara is saying right here. And I attached the so-called prophecy right here. And I hope and believe that you will be able to read and understand. It says, Munofara here vajairos. Ndati ndikuudze zvangu kuti muchitaura kuti dai muchitaura navachiwenga zveshuwa maizosvitsa shoko rakataurwa nechiprofita chesowe rekuchitungwiza. Shoko rakati raizova simba kana minana yamachaina kumutsa vachiwenga kubva kuvakafa, asi simba ramusikavanhu akati vararame kuti vazadzise basa rewakatumwa nekusunungura vana veZimbabwe kubva muuranda nekumbunyikidzwa navaMnangagwa. Chiprofita chiri kuti vachiwenga nemukomana vachazadzisa kuda kwababa. Simba neutongi hwavaMnangagwa hauna kubva kuna Mwari asi kuna Satani. Satani mukamusekerera anoita simba. Mukoma Jairos, rambai muchitaura musanete. So this is the message, and I'm not so sure how authentic is that message, but ndozvazviri vana veZimbabwe. So we need to review. We need to actually try to understand. Will we at a certain point in time wake up to hear that there is a leadership between Vachiwenga, Vachamisa, Amenone vamwe vakangodaro daro? There's a possibility. You cannot say it can't happen. So at this point in time, remember that what is very, very important is to save Zimbabwe. That is the focal point. So if any negotiations will have to happen, they will happen under the theme of saving Zimbabwe. I know that in politics there are no permanent enemies, there are no permanent friends, which means people might find each other for the sake of rebuilding our nation. If somebody says, I made mistakes, let us make amends, let us save this country, then there is no problem or reason for anybody to reject that. Personally, I would want to see progress in Zimbabwe. I would want to see a leadership which will save Zimbabwe from the quagmire it has been subjected to by this current regime. And VP Chiwenga, if you look at the speeches he's giving right now, he's actually giving leadership. He's giving statements from a leader. If he continues like that, then you will know that Zimbabwe will be delivered into the safe hands very, very soon. If he continues like that, I do not see him as a man who is willing to continue being active in politics. This is how I view everything. I believe that they are now trying to find a soft landing where they will leave this country in the hands of somebody who can be trusted in terms of development. Somebody who is not going to politically persecute others. Somebody who is not going to say chinonde changu saka in that whole life president. This is how I view this. So if you look at the whole, all the leaders who are there, the favorite is President Chamisa. As I always said in the past, the power makers, they are so adamant. They are saying Chamisa angapinda. Whether you say what or what, they are saying, let us give this young man a chance. So that is something which is very, very important, because that is how you build nations. When people agree, the public and the secret, when they agree to say, let us build this country through this leader, then it becomes a success. So Zimbabwe has been subjected to illegalities for a very long time. We have seen mass lootings, etc., etc. But I hope and believe that very, very soon things will get better. So Batse says, can someone do a Twitter poll asking if ED should rule and do 2030? A simple yes or no question will do. Okay, so all the previous polls which were done around this subject, Mnangagwa lost badly. Izvezvi tikati vaMnangagwa vakonteste chero namahiya chaiye kupati kwavo vanorohwa namahiya. Izvezvi kuisa a poll right here namahiya chaichai vanorohwa namahiya. So you know, that man has lost relevance, has lost respect because of especially the 2030 agenda. You cannot rig elections, you cannot get into power through a coup and then expect kuti iwewe oda kuti uchiti ndechangu chinechi. It will not happen like that. Zvikanzi zvechiprofita hangu handinyatsotedzera, but Mwari vane chinangwa na Chiwenga angadai akafa. Tarirai muone kupera kwaita vamwe vake vose maarmy general. Zvine chirevo izvi kubata kwaMwari kunoshamisa. Okay, zvikanzi kana neni maprofita handinyanyoteerera. I watched Tinashe Mugabe show. The majority of them vatinyepa kuti mwana ndewako iye asiri. Okay, so what I can say is change is coming to the nation of Zimbabwe, and we are in that year. As Zimbabweans, let us continue to pray, because I believe that there are certain things which God revealed unto his people for certain reasons, so that we intercede, so that we pray. We need to pray. We need wisdom from God. We need guidance from God. And I'm just praying that there won't be bloodshed. That is the biggest prayer, because I do not see how they are going to avoid what is coming after them. Vice President Chiwenga is serious and is actually pointing out real issues. When a leader comes and says, when you are a president, you are elected at national level, he is simply trying to tell you to say, you are a president of everyone, not a president of Makorokoza, not a president of Midlands, not a president of Mashengo. You are a president of every person in the country. You have to serve everyone. You have to uphold the constitution. You have to make sure that you deliver services. He clearly mentioned that when services are not being provided to the people equally, it becomes a problem. When you appoint people and you are the appointing authority, and when you appoint failures, you have failed too. That was a very, very powerful message. And, you know, as each day passes, President Nelson Chamisa is never tired. He is continuously fighting for change in the nation of Zimbabwe. He is calm, he is composed, he is there, and he is doing what he is supposed to be doing to make sure that there is change in Zimbabwe. And I'm just praying that this change quickens. This is our prayer. Change is coming. Our prayer is that this change quickens. But I always say, Zimbabweans, prepare to take advantage of what is coming. Because if you don't, Nigerians will come and take advantage. Somalians will come and take advantage. Because people from elsewhere, they quickly see the smoke you are not seeing. I am telling you, when there is smoke, people from afar will be actually seeing that smoke vividly, more than people very, very close. So, having said that, you have to be prepared not to let those who come from afar see the smoke before you. Let us make sure that we start by all means to actually identify where there are problems. Let's start to find the solutions. Solutions are not found in politics only. Our people are solely focused on saying, tichata say tipinde politics, tichadi tipinde, and people are stampeding. We have a lot. Ku health sector, ku insurance sector, ku infrastructure, manufacturing, industry, mining, everywhere there are opportunities. Education, name it. Everywhere there are opportunities which you can tap into, which you can utilize as a citizen. Let us be prepared.